Hey guys, for my persuasive speech, I decided to do the topic why mental health and wellness should be taught in the school curriculum. I think that this is something very important that everybody should be taught because not a lot of adults or students know about mental health and exactly how important it is in our lives. And I think that teaching it will allow students to achieve better academically and just have a better understanding of mental health and the different disorders. So, to start out, I'm going to tell you about what mental health is. According to MedlinePlus.org, mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well being. So, this affects how we think, act, cope with life, and make life decisions. It's very important during each stage of our lives because it allows us to cope with stress, be physically fit, and to have good relationships with other people. There's a lot of things that can affect your mental health, and these are a few things, according to MedlinePlus.org. Biological factors such as genes can affect your mental health. Life experiences such as trauma, abuse, or even a death in the family can make your mental health decline. A family history of mental health, so if your mother or father has a history of it, then you'll most likely have it as well. And your lifestyle, like your diet and your physical health. And even drinking alcohol can make your mental health decline. So, why is this so important in school? Good mental health is critical to children's success in school and life. And if needs are left unmet, it could lead to negative outcomes such as these students having academic troubles and dropping out and even becoming a delinquent. Mental and behavioral problems not only affect students in the classroom, but it could affect them in the long run if it's not taught correctly because they won't know how to associate with other people and they won't have enough work-related skills to understand. And that was according to NASPonline.org. Growing in unmet needs. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, 1 in 5 children and adolescents experience a mental health problem during their school years. Some examples that can cause this include stress, anxiety, bullying, family problems, and depression, learning disabilities, and alcohol abuse for the older kids. If left untreated, this could lead to serious mental health problems such as self-harm and even suicide because it's on the rise. And another example I found, according to the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services, among 3.8 million adolescents ages 12 through 17 who reported a major depressive episode, nearly 60% did not receive any treatment. And I think that's so sad. And I think they didn't receive treatment because maybe they didn't have anybody to talk to about how they were feeling, or maybe they didn't know why they were feeling that way. So I think that this is definitely why it needs to be taught because the numbers keep growing up. And that was an article in 2019, so that wasn't that long ago. According to lifehack.org and centerformentalhealth.org, teaching students about mental health will help the students to gain more confidence, to talk about their feelings, and open up to teachers that they trust. It will also promote physical well-being, and it will allow the students to have a referral system at the school if they're feeling sad or however they're feeling, to go talk to somebody. And it would also give teachers the knowledge on how to spot mental health issues and signs and ask the student if things are going okay at home. And if not, they could send them to the referral system and even have a talk with their parents if the student allows it. And I think that something that needs to change is students are faced with a lot of pressure from exams and the stress that come with them, but they're not taught how to deal with the stress and how to cope with it. And that could be very damaging for young people. According to centerformentalhealth.org, a lot of things that could fix this is not putting so much pressure on the student to pass an exam and giving them less homework, like maybe not giving them homework on a Friday. That way they can have their weekend to just relax and recoup and hang out with their friends and family or whatever they want to do. Just give them a mental health break, and it will help them to not feel as burnt out. In my personal opinion, I think that schools really need to allow students to have a mental health day of their choice, and it should not account for their attendance or anything, because I know when I start to feel burnt out, I get really grumpy and I don't want to do anything, and I just need a break for about a week. And once I get a break, then I am fine again. So I think that this would really help a student to feel less burnt out if they knew the signs of it and if they got a break. So, aside from their own home, young people spend the majority of the time at school, and this provides them the perfect opportunity to learn about mental health and problems and disorders. Mental health in school, according to nystromcounseling.com, can encourage students to talk about how they're feeling to teachers that they trust, and teaching coping skills to the students when they're feeling overwhelmed and stressed out. And they can incorporate self-care practice throughout the day, like breathing exercises when they start to feel overwhelmed and feel like they need a break, and provide brain breaks. I think that the brain breaks really help because when I was in high school, our physical science teacher, she would allow us a 10-minute a brain break whenever we would start to feel overwhelmed, and she would let us walk around the school for 10 minutes. And that just allowed our brains to rest for a little bit and to recuperate and to think about things other than school. And this would also educate students on the signs and symptoms of mental health. And I feel like the only way we can change this is if we educate the students like we would in physical health, like PE. And to know about mental health is like a life skill, and it could help young people when they need it. And I really love this quote: "Your mental health is a priority, your happiness is essential, your self-care is a necessity." That's very true. It's very important to have time to yourself and to take breaks so you don't get burnt out and stressed out. In conclusion, we all deserve to have a peace of mind. It does not make anyone less of a person if they're experiencing a mental health issue. When we value mental health, we live a happier and healthier life. Mental health is just as important as physical health. We must end this stigma because mental health affects everything. And I hope you guys enjoyed my speech. I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.